I don't know about where you live, but here we've had such a bad problem with roly-polies. Oh my word, I gotta show this to you. Oh, that's so disgusting. I gotta show this to you. You gotta see this. The first thing I'm gonna harvest is broccoli. And I've had this netting over it, protecting it since March. Oh my word, it's so gross. How disgusting. They are so gross. So they are loving this board. Ugh. And they are such troublemakers. They've been like nibbling at my broccoli leaves. So I have my broccoli protected from the cabbage moth. The cabbage moth that lays eggs and then they turn into caterpillars that eat your leaves. But the biggest problem has been, not with the cabbage moth, it's been with these roly-polies. They're everywhere. They're in every part of my bed. They're in every fruit and vegetable you can think of. And they're not fun. One thing I kind of read briefly about is they, something about certain metals, like you can tell that you have a lot of metals in your soil or something like that if you have a lot of roly-polies. And we've been having a lot of chemtrails that have been spraying all the different chemicals and metals on our soil. So I think that's why. So it's been terrible this year. But anyways, I see a white cabbage moth flying around. So okay, so I'm gonna take the netting off. This is it. It's like they're graduating. Look at that. Oh my word. Can you see all the roly-polies on here? Look at that. All these bugs, that's all them. I have a sunflower in here that was a volunteer that came up. And he's all squished. He wants to climb up. Hopefully he'll survive. This variety here is actually the biggest. So they're kind of all done. Well, I don't know, this guy's still little. And there's a guy over there, roly-poly on him. These volunteer potatoes. And then I think this is the guy. This is the one that's like all bolted. Like these are all done. See how they're all stretched out, but there's like nothing really. Okay, so these are calibres. Oh my word, there's so many earwigs. Do you see that? Oh, you gross bugs. See that? Oh, they're like trying to hide in there. Oh, you guys are gross. So that I'll have to search for. So I'll be using a hori-hori knife because it has like these serrated edges on it. And it's easier to cut to broccoli because the stem is so thick. You can't really use scissors or anything like that. It definitely helps to have something like this that you can cut it with. So one thing with broccoli is after you harvest initial broccoli head, you can still keep the plant inside and it will produce side shoots. So you can, they'll get a little bit bigger and you'll get more broccoli. But not worth it for me to keep them going. So I'm ready for these guys. These are ready. Oh, so gross. Okay. That the plant will produce side shoots and you can have a little bit more broccoli later in the season. That's not gonna happen in my case because this whole week we're gonna have high 70s, 80s. It's just getting too hot. The summer's like already here, I feel like. And I don't know, the plants are so big and just take up so much space that I don't wanna keep lingering them on. Like I would rather just plant something else like the next crop and enjoy that. So I can plant whatever I want in here. I mean, it's only, today's May 28th, so I can plant green beans, I can plant flowers, zinnias, I can plant carrots, beets, like whatever I want. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do, but I'm not gonna keep the plants. So this is Calabrese, and I wasn't happy with these as much because they all like bolted. They got very leggy really fast. And I planted these plants out March sometime. Not impressed with this variety. So that's why I grew 3 different varieties, so I knew who does best, whom to plant next year. This one, wow, it's so bushy, and this is actually funny. Let me show you. Look how funny this looks. So this is the plant, and this is what I get from it. So here's the broccoli plant. Here's the broccoli. Can you see my stock flower that I planted behind? They're starting to kind of now form, and you can see them, but I had them behind the broccoli, and you can see them that way through the garlic. So pretty. Okay, this next one is, let me take these hoops out. Oh, there's the butterfly. He's excited. So this next variety I'm doing is Sun King, and I'm very happy with these. They look awesome. He's already producing side shoots. Oh, let me shake him. Here's the next one. It's already starting to flower, so it's definitely time to eat them. This one is beautiful. Gotta shake him. That looks fun. So there's that one. Who's hiding here? Okay. It's a pretty one. He probably could have grew more, but I'm ready to be done with these. So this is Eastern Magic. Can you see? I should check for bugs. Smells good. So this is Eastern Magic from Johnny Seeds. I'm actually happy with this one. It hasn't bolted, and it would still grow a little bit more, but I have a lot going on this summer, which I'll share with you later, but I'm ready to pull them out. Done with the broccoli, so I'm happy. I'll leave those two. Hopefully, I think they'll get bigger. I'm just a little impatient. Here's all the leaves. I have more leaves than I have broccoli. And this is kind of what we're working with. So we have Sun King first, and then Calabrese. Oh no, Calabrese was the first one. So Calabrese is the one that's like ready to be harvested sooner. So it was ready. Nothing much. And then I have my Eastern Magic. That's the one that I just did. And I have like this beautiful one. He probably could have grown a little bit more. And this one. And I have 2 more. I have 2 more that I'm actually decided that I'm going to keep in and let them grow. So I think I'm a little too quick to harvest them. But like I said, I have stuff going on this summer that I'll tell you later. and I need to clean this out. So anyway, so I'm leaving that one to grow. And then there's another one over there. So they'll still get bigger, but everybody else gotta go. Next on my list is to give a huge haircut to this lemon balm. Very excited. This thing's huge. Do you see how big it is? So I am ready. It smells so good. I love it. I love the smell of it. Very citrusy. I started this from seed probably 3 years ago that I planted it. And to tell you the truth, I've never used it. It's just kept growing. And it gives me like that sense of security that if I ever need it, I have it, just because I know that lemon balm is so good for you. It has a lot of like medicinal properties, but I just never used it, just never got to it. But now is my chance. Probably this way. Now is my chance that I want to use a lot of it. And I'm gonna actually do twofold. One is I'm gonna do it for tea. So I'm gonna dehydrate it for tea. And then the second use is I'm gonna try to make bug spray with it. So I looked up online, you can mix peppermint, which I'm gonna collect next, peppermint and lemon balm, and you can make tincture as a bug spray. So I was like, sure, I need bug spray, why not? So that's what I'm gonna do. So let me show you kind of where to cut. So if you look right here, you have a long stem and you have a mature leaf right here, but underneath it, there's some baby leaves. So what you can do is you can cut above it, and that will allow these baby leaves to then get taller and produce more. Get the plant get bushier. So you can either cut above. I'm gonna go to the next node. So that's kind of where I'm cutting. And I'm gonna go hard at it. I'm gonna prune it. And the reason that I decided to do this now versus later is I can kind of tell that pretty soon it's gonna try to go to flower. And I'm trying to catch it before that, because the flavor always changes when they start going to flower, to seed. So you want to catch it before then, because that's kind of when it's the most tender, hasn't gotten bitter, a little bit bitter and whatnot. And that's it. Just bada bing, bada boom. And you'd want to do this before it's 80 degrees outside. And the middle of the day that it's so hot, you kind of want to do it probably in the morning is the best, but if you have to, then do it in the evening. Because in the afternoon, things kind of start to wilt a little bit and just, anyways. But if you're wondering why I'm doing it right now in the middle of the day when it's 1:30 and it's 80 degrees already, is because that's the time that I have. My busy 2-year-old is down for a nap, and that's when I run out the door and say, okay, what can I get done in my allotted time while he's asleep? So that's why I'm doing this in the middle of in the heat of the day. You gotta do it when you have the time. Better late than never. And then I have a plant right here from my daughter, that I did on my garden tour I showed you, that she gave me this for Mother's Day. So that's where I planted that. I'm rich. Look at all this lemon balm. It reminds me that it looks like stinging metal almost. I have one last thing that I need to harvest right now before I go in, is this peppermint plant. So when I did a garden tour, So on the last garden tour, I showed you how I planted this plant in a pot, and I planted the pot in the ground. The one thing that I didn't tell you in that tour is I did that only after I've planted it in the garden bed first, and it spread like it always does. And then I was like, wait a minute, I know better than that. I need to put it in the pot. So after it spread and I painstakingly took all the roots and everything out as much as I could, then I put the little bunch that I had left in the pot, and the pot has drainage holes. Okay, when I say pot, that's what it is. It's bucket. It's a bucket. So it's actually this baking soda bucket that we have. So it's exactly the same one. So I took this, I put holes in the bottom of it, and that's what I buried in the ground. And that's where it lives. And I still see I have a peppermint right there, and I'm sure it's gonna spread. What it's trying to do is actually, it's kind of out of the pot, it's coming out like lower, leans, and it's trying to root into the mulch. So let me show you. So this is the pot. And they're just in there. So there's that bucket, the white bucket. Ew, and the roly-polies are just loving it. You can kind of tell right here how it starts to curve down, and it wants to root. It wants to root in the ground. Do you see that? Do you see how crooked this is? And that one. These ones are touching. I don't know if there's any roots forming yet, but they are determined. Very determined. Usually with something like this, you'd only want to clip off like a third of the plant just to not stress it out. But this is such a weed, it grows like crazy. I'm not worried. Here it is.